An operating room there. A club to be a member of the place. You do. You have to. It's so exclusive. You have to be born in this club to be a member of it. That's where we had lunch. I think they got an operating room in there. Every family that's a member of this club, they're going to have a kid. They got to go to the club to have the baby. Otherwise, they don't get in. I mean, it's greetings. Welcome back, folks. Continuing on. Now, this next bite, this is Kirsten Powers, and I find this instructive, and I think you will, too.
What I thought was interesting in what Rush wrote, there was a couple of things in it that I should have known about, but I didn't know. He talks about how in 1993, while aboard Air Force One, President Clinton called my St. Louis affiliate to complain that I had 3 hours each day on the radio and that there was no truth detector responding to me. At another point, Harry Reid called Clear Channel and basically complained about him and wanted them to do something about things that Rush Limbaugh was saying. And this is very heavy-handed behavior from the government. I'm liberal, and I can see that they're liberal, but that's not just the only problem. The problem is that they don't even want there to be one Rush Limbaugh. It's not enough that they're already in control of everything. It's like they literally can't tolerate this one person.
Now, she's exactly right about that, but here's the thing, and it's a dilemma for me. I've been 28 years, or we're into our 28th year. The two incidents that she spoke of were big things when they happened. I mean, Bill Clinton, and they both happened out of the blue. Clinton is flying into St. Louis to dedicate some new federal program at the train station or something. I don't know what it was. And as a promotion, he calls the morning show at our St. Louis affiliate, KMOX. And when he's talking to him, he starts complaining and whining about me. And this is what that sounded like.
After I get off the radio today with you, Rush Limbaugh will have 3 hours to say whatever he wants.
Would you like to leave a message?
I won't have any opportunity to respond, and there's no truth detector. You won't get on afterwards and say what was true and what wasn't.
Now, for crying out loud, it's the President of the United States. He's the most powerful man in the free world. He's got the most powerful man in the world. He's got the bully pulpit. He can go to the White House Rose Garden, or he can summon a network anytime he wants, say whatever he wants to do. He's on the radio here complaining that I have 3 hours on the radio and to say whatever I want. Imagine that. And that he won't have any chance to respond. And that there's no truth detector. And he's chiding them for not getting on KMOX after my show and pointing out what I said was true and what wasn't. I have to take a break here, but there's more to this here, folks. So hang in there, be tough. Be right back. Okay, just a couple of more brief minutes on this. Again, teachable moment. This Bill Clinton call to KMOX in St. Louis, that was June 24th. That was actually 1994. And it was his second year in office. And it came out of the blue. And, I've referenced it a number of times in this program, but here's Kirsten Powers, who is on Fox. Now, there was no Fox in 1994. Fox went around in 97. So I don't know what she was doing in 1994, but she admitted she never heard of this. And there's a reason she never heard about this, because the drive-by media didn't report it. And I'm kind of caught in the middle here because it's the kind of thing I think people who listen to this program do remember and will remember, but maybe not everybody was listening that day. So for me, it's a challenge to remind people, but then not overdo it. And, I don't want people listening, come on, Rush, move on. We know. Well, but not everybody does. She's learning this for the first time, and she also didn't know about the Harry Reid phony soldier letter. And that was huge. She only found out about it reading my column. So I'm sitting here saying to myself, how many other people in the Drive-Bys, and that happened long after Fox News had debuted. She was on Fox News, and they didn't make a big deal of it either. Drive-Bys don't spend a whole lot of time talking about the news that's made on this program. They spend a lot of time trying to defame me, but not the news that's made here. And I find it fascinating. Here's a woman whose job is to be informed, stay informed, and she didn't know about particularly the Harry Reid incident, which ended up raising $4.2 million, and it's a U.S. senator trying to silence a private citizen. And it went on for a month. That story went on for a month, and she didn't know about it. I'm not ripping her. Don't misunderstand. I'm saying it's fascinating How, and I'm sure that you who listen to the program think, wow, that's big enough. Everybody's going to know about this. And they don't, because the drive-bys don't want people to know the kind of success stories that happen here on the program. But she was fascinated, and she's right. The left doesn't want there to be even one Rush Limbaugh. She's more right than she knows. They don't want debate. They don't want compromise. They don't want to work with the other side. They want to rid the playing field of all opposition. Here it is again. This is Clinton. It's just 14 seconds, June 24th, 1994.
After I get off the radio today with you, Rush Limbaugh will have 3 hours to say whatever he wants.
Would you like to leave a message?
I won't have any opportunity to respond, and there's no truth detector. You won't get on afterward and say what was true and what wasn't.
Can you imagine the President of the United States complaining about a guy on a radio from noon to 3 every day? And the drive-bys didn't see fit to make that any kind of a story. Then they played another clip that I mentioned from the program. And I think this, folks, is a crucial point. And I made it yesterday in my analysis of the election results Tuesday night, which was another Republican sweep, just like 2010, just like 2014. The Republican Party is still more inclined to work with Barack Obama and move his agenda forward, be it amnesty, be it the Export-Import Bank, be it climate change, whatever it happens to be, despite this resounding defeat for Obama and the Democrats and liberalism last night. The Republicans are still inclined to work with Obama and to move his agenda. Eric Bolling and the 5 at Fox had his reaction.
He's taking a shot, obviously, at some of the policy that the Republicans who control the House and the Senate are letting get through and hit the president's desk and not get overruled the second time around. I see what he's doing. Rush Limbaugh is staking out the conservative red meat bread, and he's doing a great job of it.
Conservative red. I'm just pointing out that the Republicans have got a winning majority waiting to be joined, and they seem reluctant to do it. They seem more inclined to want to be seen as working with Obama. Now, Dana Perino. Now, Dana Perino is from I guess on balance, she'd have to be categorized as an establishment Republican, which she's okay. Don't misunderstand. But she next this is kind of a tortured establishment Republican view of her reaction to what I said about the Republicans in Washington still being more inclined to work with Obama.
There are going to be people that will say climate change. They look at the science and think, okay, look, we want a cleaner environment too, so we should do things that are smart. We should not kill our coal industry over it. Today, for example, and this goes to his point, which is you constantly find out other things. For example, China, turns out, for the last several years, has been lying about its output of carbon emissions. They're actually way up over and above what they had actually reported. So next week, President Obama goes to Paris to have this consultation about a big climate change summit, and it's based on lies. And I think that's what Russia's saying is, why do the Republicans keep falling into this trap?
Yeah, see, and she's exactly right. Well, I don't know that they're falling for a trap. That would be the worst case. If they're falling for a trap, the evidence is clear. They don't need to fall for it now. The trap has been exposed. That's what worries all of us, that they're not falling for a trap. And that they're have willingly decided to help move Obama's agenda because they don't want to be called racist. You know, the average